And let me start with you, Congresswoman Dingell. How has the tone of the election, I guess, how would you describe it, number one? And number two, how it has maybe affected doing your job in Washington over the past 4 months or so?
Well, I'm going to be very blunt with you that I am deeply disturbed by the state of our nation, the state of rhetoric that we are witnessing. I can't say that the level that it's gone down to in the last few weeks is affecting my job, because it doesn't. The Congress is never in, so we're not working, which is not a good thing either. But we came home in the middle of July and we're out until the beginning of September, and we're in for 2.5 weeks and have been out again. But what I am disturbed about is no matter what happens on Election Day, Donald Trump's still going to be there. And I believe that, I talk to people and I say, post 9/11 was one of the worst times in this country. This country had been attacked on this soil, but George Bush, who was a Republican president, was not going to let us be divided by fear or hatred. And he pulled us together as a country. Do you remember we knew what it meant to be American? That feeling of patriotism that pulled us all together as Americans. We don't have that right now. We are being divided by fear and hatred, and it's not okay. And it's a lack of civility that is happening at every level and in every community. And it's like people are being given a license to say things that are simply not appropriate. And we've got to find a way that we get back to civility and respect and remind ourselves that we are one community. That is our strength as Americans.
Well, I would agree with everything Debbie said. I think the tone is unlike any other election in our lifetime. I don't think either party nominated the best person to be our next president. And so I look forward to January, whoever the next president is. There will be some positive energy in January because we have a new administration. It's typical for the new president to roll out their legislative agenda quite aggressively. If Speaker Ryan's the speaker, he'll sit down with the president and we'll figure out ways we can start to work together. But between the lame duck, last year or so of President Obama's administration and then some of the rhetoric, I think people are going to be happy when the election's over and we can get back to work and solve some problems. Because I heard a report over the weekend that this election and all the noise around it is causing a lot of people anxiety, and it doesn't reflect well on our country. And I think I for one promised when I ran 2 years ago I wasn't going to go to Washington and throw bombs, and I haven't. And I've worked with Debbie on a number of matters, and that's what we need to have happen.